Is it even possible for a celebrity to have zero haters? In a world where every move is under a microscope, and criticism seems to come with the territory, some stars somehow defy the odds. They walk red carpets, headline global news, and star in iconic roles, yet their reputation remains almost untouchable. What is it about these celebrities that makes them universally liked, year after year? Today, we dive into the rare stories of the stars who have managed the impossible, winning over not just their fans, but nearly everyone who crosses their path. As we reveal what makes these public figures so irresistibly likable, you might be surprised by just how powerful authentic kindness and a little unexpected humility can be. But just how do they do it, and has anyone ever come close to breaking that perfect record? Let's find out. Tom Hanks, Hollywood's kindest icon. If ever there was a celebrity who seems impossible to dislike, it's Tom Hanks. From his first steps onto the big screen, Hanks has built a reputation as Hollywood's nicest guy, not just in his movies, but in real life too. Over the years, countless stories have surfaced about his genuine kindness, from photobombing wedding pictures in Central Park with a grin, to quietly paying the bill for strangers' meals, to keeping lifelong friendships with crew members most stars would barely remember. Insiders describe him as down-to-earth, respectful, and shockingly humble for someone who's won multiple Oscars. He's the kind of person who makes everyone feel like they matter, whether they're a fellow superstar, or just someone catching his eye in a coffee shop. But even Hanks isn't immune to a rough day, and that vulnerability only seems to endear him more to the public. Despite spending decades in the spotlight, his reputation stays remarkably scandal-free. With charm, humility, and authenticity, Hanks has turned himself into the classic everyman everyone wishes they knew in real life. But what happens when a star faces both immense fame and personal tragedy, yet still remains beloved? That's where our next celebrity comes in, and his story is just as surprising. Keanu Reeves, the internet's favorite human. When it comes to celebrities who have become unstoppable forces of positivity, Keanu Reeves' name pops up everywhere. Amid the glitz of Hollywood, Keanu stands out, not for controversy, but for how remarkably normal he seems despite wildly abnormal fame. Stories about his humility have practically become internet folklore, giving up his seat on the subway, chatting warmly with crew members after long shoots, and quietly donating millions to charity, all without a splashy headline fans love sharing. The moments where Keanu eating a sandwich alone in a park, helping a stranger with car trouble, or letting fans photograph him without any of the superstar ego. What's even more impressive is he's done this all while facing enormous personal challenges and heartbreak behind the scenes. Yet, through every blockbuster movie and viral meme, Keanu keeps it real, radiating empathy and modesty that feels nearly impossible to find in this business. You might wonder, can someone really be this genuine in showbiz? For Keanu, the answer appears to be yes. It's what's cemented his status as the internet's favorite human. But if you think Hollywood's charm is new, think again, because the next beloved celebrity has been winning hearts for generations. Betty White, America's sweetheart. Long before social media could turn celebrities into instant memes, Betty White managed to achieve what most stars only dream of: decades of universal admiration. With a sparkling wit and a quick, mischievous smile, she didn't just entertain, she charmed generation after generation. Her comedic timing on classics like The Golden Girls made her a legend, but it was her warmth off-screen that truly cemented her status. Betty had an uncanny way of making everyone, whether co-stars or loyal fans, feel like they were in on her joke. But perhaps the real secret to Betty's likability was her fearless honesty, never mean, always playful, and usually delivered with a wink that instantly disarmed critics. Even as the spotlight shifted to younger stars, she continued breaking records, nabbing roles, and stealing scenes well into her 90s. Rumors would occasionally swirl, as they do with anyone in the industry, but Betty brushed them aside with effortless grace, focusing on animal rights, charity, and spreading contagious joy. What kept her at the center of public affection for so long? Maybe it was her sense of self-awareness, or her refusal to take herself too seriously, or possibly something harder to define, a genuine love for making people laugh. Betty White's legacy proves that being beloved doesn't age. Robin Williams, a legacy of laughter and kindness. Some celebrities make us laugh, and a rare few remind us how deeply laughter can heal. Robin Williams was that rare star whose comic genius was matched only by his enormous heart. On screen, he leapt between characters, sometimes wild and manic, sometimes heartbreakingly tender, but behind the scenes, his acts of quiet generosity became the stuff of legend. Friends and castmates have shared countless stories of Robin showing up for people in their lowest moments, offering support, kindness, and a listening ear with no expectation of recognition. What made Robin impossible to hate wasn't just his boundless energy or his ability to make anyone laugh until they cried, it was also the vulnerability he wore openly. He was honest about his struggles, sharing the real, unvarnished side of stardom with grace and empathy. As stories of his secret donations, surprise visits to sick fans, and little acts of everyday kindness emerged, it became clear that his off-camera life was driven by the same compassion that powered his best performances. Even years after his passing, Robin's impact remains. Fans still discover new ways he touched lives when the cameras weren't rolling. His legacy is proof that true likability comes from kindness, not just charisma. And yet, sometimes it's the subtler, quieter personalities who become universally beloved. Which brings us to another celebrity whose gentle humor makes him impossible to dislike, a man who never seems to age and only gets more charming with time. Paul Rudd, the ageless charmer. When people talk about celebrities who never seem to age, Paul Rudd is almost always the punchline, and he manages to take even that with a laugh. Beyond the running jokes about his eternal youth, Paul has quietly built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most approachable, genuine, and universally adored stars. Whether he's lighting up screens as the lovable goof or sharing hilarious behind-the-scenes stories, his everyman warmth has made fans root for him for decades. But it's not just movie magic that keeps Paul's likability level sky high. Colleagues rave about his kindness and willingness to make everyone feel seen, even on the busiest set. Fans recount those moments at meet and greets where Paul takes extra time, cracks a joke, or remembers a face from years ago. His knack for leaning fully into the absurd, never too serious about himself, makes every interview and appearance feel fresh and relatable. Pranks with friends, offbeat apologies to Conan O'Brien, unexpected dance moves at premieres, it's all part of the Rudd charm. And in an industry where egos often take center stage, his humility is a breath of fresh air. People simply can't find a bad word to say about him. But Paul isn't alone in his brand of gentle, unwavering likability. Chadwick Boseman, heroism on and off-screen. Few celebrities have radiated quiet strength and dignity the way Chadwick Boseman did. Best known for bringing Black Panther to life, Chadwick became a worldwide symbol of courage, all while carrying a personal struggle almost no one knew about. During years when he inspired audiences with powerful performances, not just in superhero films, but through complex roles in A 42, Marshall, and To Get On Up, he was privately fighting an aggressive illness, yet chose to uplift others instead of drawing attention to his pain. Stories emerged of Chadwick's grace when meeting young fans, especially children facing health battles of their own. He made time to visit hospitals, send messages of hope, and offer words of encouragement, always speaking from a place of empathy. On set, colleagues described him as deeply thoughtful, respectful, and encouraging, a leader who modeled humility and professionalism, and who always used his platform for good. After his passing, an outpouring of tributes painted a picture not just of a talented actor, but of a man who carried himself with rare composure, choosing impact over applause. He put meaning into every role, both on and off the screen, showing that true heroism means quietly lifting others, no matter the cost to yourself. Ryan Reynolds, sarcasm, heart, and unfailingly good vibes. Ryan Reynolds has turned smart alecky charm into an art form, making him one of Hollywood's most universally liked and surprisingly genuine figures. His wit might catch attention first, but it's his authenticity that keeps fans in his corner. Whether he's roasting himself on social media, cracking jokes with talk show hosts, or stirring up hilarious campaigns for his businesses, Ryan knows how to make everyone feel like they're in on the fun. But underneath the sarcasm and sharp one-liners is someone deeply committed to doing right by others. He frequently uses his platform to speak out on causes close to his heart: mental health, cancer research, and children's charities, often matching donations or shining a light on issues that need more attention. Ryan and his wife, Blake Lively, have donated quietly, and sometimes massively, to a range of charities, typically without the need for a spotlight. Fans love pointing out his random acts of online kindness too, from surprising sick children to hyping lesser-known creators, and even sharing advice about overcoming anxiety. That he's managed to avoid the cynicism that can sometimes come with sarcasm, balancing jokes with vulnerability and honesty. Both on set and off, he's beloved by co-stars for keeping morale high and making everyone feel included. The result? Even rival studios and business competitors admit, Ryan is almost impossible not to root for. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a charm, strength, and relentless positivity. Few people manage to dominate as many arenas as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and even fewer do it with such dazzling charisma and warmth. From his early days electrifying wrestling crowds, The Rock turned action stardom into a genuine connection with fans across the globe. He's built a reputation on more than just biceps and blockbuster movies. what truly sets him apart is his relentless positivity and his open embrace of every new challenge off-screen. Stories of Dwayne's generosity and big-heartedness abound. He's known for spontaneous acts of kindness, picking up fans in need, granting heartfelt wishes to children, and personally responding to moving messages online. Social media is filled with moments where The Rock goes out of his way to motivate, encourage, and celebrate ordinary people. His infectious enthusiasm comes through in every post and public appearance, mixing humor with sincerity in a way that feels refreshingly real. Perhaps what makes Dwayne so universally appealing is his transparency. He shares his struggles openly, talks about hard work and failure with humility, and always credits his family and supporters for his rise. He bounces between joke-cracking, high-fiving superstar and empathic friend almost effortlessly, bridging the gap between action hero and approachable role model. Whether he's making motivational videos, clowning around with co-stars, or stepping up for a charitable cause, The Rock leads with gratitude, making everyone around him feel like part of the team.